What's up, everyone? Today, the topic is very important, and I think it is something that most of the people struggle with. Most of the people have already faced this problem, and they definitely want to get rid of this problem. And the problem is, as the title says, that what is the real reason you freeze while speaking English? The reason why the reason why you freeze while speaking English language, right? So there are few common reasons that I want to highlight, and because these are also the things that I have also faced earlier, and now I don't face these reasons. These things don't stop me, but still, I'm going to talk about four main reasons because of which we freeze while speaking, or we get stuck while speaking. So I have almost conquered all of them, but still, there might be one reason. There is one reason. It's not that there might be one reason. There is one reason out of these four, which happens with me as well. Still, it happens, but fortunately it happens very rarely, and it happens very rarely because of one reason. The reason is that because I don't get to speak in front of people so often. This is why I lose that practice, that touch of practice, right? This is why it happens a bit more frequently. Otherwise, had I been into this practice thing for a long time, it would have not bothered me, right? But still, I will definitely let you know what is that point that bothers me as well. But rest of the 3 points are something which I am almost not bothered about. Earlier I used to be, but now I'm not. All right, so let's start. What are those four reasons why we get stuck or why we freeze while speaking in English? First reason is, and that is the most important thing, that is no or less topic knowledge. You don't have knowledge about what you are going to say or what you are speaking about. If you don't even know, or if you don't even understand what you're talking about, if you don't have knowledge about what you are saying, so you don't have the matter, you don't even have the matter in your head, so what are you going to talk about? For an example, let me give an example. Let's say somebody's going to talk, somebody wants you to talk about let's say golf, about the rules of golf game, right? So if you yourself don't know the rules of golf game, and you have to talk about golf and all these rules and whatnot in front of a group of people, what are you going to talk about? You don't even know. I don't even know about golf, right? I don't know anything related to golf. I don't know the technicalities, the rules, or whatever exists in the game of golf. In the game of golf, I don't understand. I don't know that. So what can I talk about? I'll be blank. I'll be like, yeah, golf is a game. It looks like a sport to me, but what to talk about? But on the other hand, let's say somebody asks you to talk something about cricket, or any player related to cricket, or maybe about Bollywood, about movies, or about your family, or about the profession you are in, the work that you do. So you definitely have knowledge about these things, right? So you can definitely talk about these things because you have the matter right there in your head, right? So you can talk about them because you know them, you understand them. But if you don't understand anything, if you don't have any matter related to that thing, any information related to that thing in your head, you're definitely going to be blank. Anybody would be blank, right? So the first and the most important thing is that you must have some decent amount of knowledge of what you're going to talk about, right? It's a very important thing. You may come across people who are very good with the language, but even they can't speak almost anything about something they don't know anything about. Let's say if they are asked to speak about that particular thing for the next 10 minutes or for even 5 minutes, what are they going to talk about? They don't know any damn thing. Does that mean they don't have the command on that language? No, it doesn't mean that. They definitely have the command, but they don't possess that knowledge. First topic, we are done with it, that no or less knowledge about that particular topic that you are going to talk about, right? First point. The second point is translation in head. So as soon as you start speaking, you start to translate from your native language to English. So you get into that game, that machine of your head, of your brain starts to translate. Okay, this is what I'm gonna talk about. This is it's in my native language version, and let's translate it, let's convert it into English. So you are taking that time, and in the meanwhile you're taking that time, time takes off, you are wasting time, and you seem to be a person who is stuck, who is not able to speak, who maybe doesn't know that particular topic, or who definitely maybe does not have command on that particular language. So people perceive you someone who either does not have the knowledge of what he or she is going to talk about, or they don't even have the command of that particular language, right? So don't do this translation thing. We have to get rid of this translation thing. We have to move ahead, because in order to speak a language like I am speaking this English language, so I'm not translating anything. I'm just speaking with the flow, whatever amount of English is there in my head, and whatever knowledge I have related to what I'm talking about. I'm just going with the flow. I'm not translating. Had I been translating, it would have taken a very long time for me, and I would have stopped a lot. I would have still made mistakes. I know that since I'm starting and since I'm speaking, whatever I'm speaking about, I'm definitely making grammatical mistakes, but I think that's completely fine, because you guys are able to understand me. I'm able to make you guys understand, and anybody who understands English is able to understand me, what I'm talking about. That is the main goal of a language. So stop translating as soon as possible. You don't have to translate. This translating thing stops us and makes us feel or look stuck and frozen while we speak about any damn thing, right? So that was the second point. Translating in head is something that freezes us. All right, so the third point that freezes us while speaking in English is a grammar rules application. It is kind of similar to that translation thing only, but here I want to add one more very important thing, is that during translation what happens is definitely you are translating, and definitely you are putting some sort of grammar. But here in this point specifically, I want to highlight that while speaking English, many people get so bothered or get so cautious about their grammar. They just try to have grammar to be their grammar to be perfect while speaking English. They are very much how do you call it, they try to be very much peculiar or very much on point with their grammar, right? So how they think is that my grammar should be absolutely perfect. I should not speak out any damn sentence or any damn inappropriate word while speaking English. My sentences should be grammatically perfect, right? As we say, picture perfect. So they want to speak out each and every single thing grammatically perfect. So they put all these grammar calculation and everything, so everything goes on in their head as soon as they start speaking, and while they speak. So this machinery continues to work in the background, and they're always like, oh, I have to filter out, I should be grammatically perfect. And as soon as they start feeling like no, whatever I'm going to talk about might not be grammatically perfect, they get stuck. So they create an imaginary entry barrier in their own head. Oh no, this sentence does not look grammatically perfect, or I'm not even able to structure or frame a particular sentence grammatically perfect, so I should not say this out. That's how they think, and that's where they get stuck. And I'm saying this not on the basis of my observation of other people, or on the basis of how much I have read and understood this English speaking thing, but these all things are coming from my own experience as well. I have also been a guy who always tried to be grammatically perfect and whatnot, but when I listened to this language more and more from people, I got to realize that people who were absolutely fluent, they also make mistakes, but they are never bothered about it, and they just continue to go on and on and on even while making mistakes. So they are not bothered. The listeners might definitely find out their mistakes. Oh, oh, he made a grammatical mistake here. Oh, another grammatical mistake. Oh, another grammatical mistake. Yes, the viewers, the listeners definitely spot out mistakes. I am also someone who can easily spot out mistakes most of the times, but the person who is speaking, he just goes on and on and on, and that's what the most important thing is, that the person should go on and on and on. Because we guys, even though we are finding out mistakes, right, we are able to do so because we have some sort of understanding of grammar and everything, but at the same time we are also able to understand what the other person is speaking about, right? And that is the most important thing, right? The speaker making some grammatical mistakes, but at least that person is able to make me understand pretty clearly. That is the most important thing. That's what he is there for, and that's what I am here for. I am here to understand what the other person is speaking, and that person is there to make me and make us understand of what that person is speaking about, right? So you should not be bothered about grammar or anything. Oh, my grammar is not perfect, then I should stop, because the sentence that I'm going to talk about is not grammatically perfect, or I'm not even able to structure it properly. Just speak it out, man. The more you'll speak, the more mistakes you're going to make, the more you're going to learn. And this is how we get better. I used to make a lot of grammatical mistakes earlier. Now I make lesser, because now definitely some more phrases and sentences and words are definitely gone in my head, because I consume English as well, I listen to English as well, I read English sometimes as well. So that's how we acquire a language, and it's a gradual process, but it should be consistent. I've been consistent. I've not been very consistent, but since last few days, few weeks, few months, I can say I've been very obsessed with this language, and I know that if I don't work towards this language, I cannot get better at this language. And worse than this is that if you stop working, if you stop being in the environment of a language, your language starts to degrade. That's an even worse thing, right? It's not that your language will at least sustain at the level that you already have. It starts to degrade, because our brain starts to consider everything unimportant that we stop using, right? So this is why being in the touch of this language and being in the environment, and that continuous practice, just make it a part of your environment, and that's how it is the easiest thing to stay in touch with the language and to get better and better and better with time, right? So don't try to be grammatically perfect. Even the native speakers make grammatical mistakes, right? Even their grammar is not perfect. They make a lot of mistakes. Even you guys can easily figure out their mistakes, right? But does that ever bother them? No, it doesn't bother them. Do they stop? No, they don't stop. They just continue to go on and on and on, and they speak it on a daily basis. We speak Hindi on a daily basis. Are we grammatically perfect? हमारी व्याकरण अच्छी है? Is our Hindi व्याकरण absolutely top notch? No, not at all, not even close. But does that ever bother us? No, it doesn't bother us. We speak this language. We are able to understand other Hindi speakers, other people are able to understand us, and that's what the motive is. 3 points we are done with, and now the fourth and the last point, and this is the kind of point where I also sometimes get a bit cautious about, but because I don't get a lot of opportunities to speak. Had I been getting more opportunities, this thing will definitely vanish and fade it out. Alright, so the fourth, last but not the least, a very important point is that what will people think if I speak wrong English? What will people think if I speak wrong English, right? This is something that most of the people are bothered about. Oh, what if I say some wrong word, or what if I, what if my grammar is not perfect? What if I frame sentences not properly? My sentence structure is broken, or what if there are a lot of what ifs that go on in our head, and that is completely fine. That makes us bother us, especially when when it is not our first language, and this is it's a kind of language which we are in the learning process of, right? But you just have to be okay with that. In order to solve this thing, I can suggest you one thing. You can start to listen to or watch videos of people who are not good at English, at spoken English, but still they speak. Maybe maybe they can be from some higher designations from in some companies, maybe any public speakers, or anybody whose English is not that good. I've seen many people whose English is not that good when they speak it on stage, but they are not bothered about it. They are making many grammatical mistakes in almost every other sentence, or in almost every sentence, they have a grammatical mistake, but they're not bothered about it. They just continue to go on and on and on. People are able to understand them. So that very thing gives confidence to us that okay, if this person is making mistakes but is still going on and on and on, is still continuing to speak English, maybe I'm a bit better than this person. You can think like this. There is no problem. You are not considering that person inferior. You are just trying to give some confidence to yourself, right? I'm not asking you to consider someone inferior or anything. No, we all are in a learning process, and we all are at some stage only, some level only. Everybody is gonna grow. It's just that you have grown to some very good level, and I am maybe a bit lesser than you, and I am a bit behind you. That's completely fine. It's all a matter of time and practice and consistency. But it's just you should use it for your confidence. That okay, if this person can speak English on a stage and people are able to understand him and at the same time appreciate him, I can also do this. And see, we all learn, you can't expect an absolute beginner or a beginner to intermediate level of speaker to be absolutely great, or to be a Shakespeare, or to be a Shah Rukh Khan, or to be an Amitabh Bachchan, or to be a Harsha Bhogle, or a Ravi Shastri, or a Tony Greig, right, who can speak absolutely magical English in front of millions of people. They definitely have given a lot of time and practice, and their environment was such and everything. So everybody has their own journey. That's what I'm trying to say. We guys don't maybe come from a kind of environment where English has been all over. So I hope you understand. So we just have one thing in our hand, and that is practice. That is that is an attempt to create an environment for us, so that we can get better and better. What are gonna people think? People don't think much. At max, what they can think is, oh, he's making mistakes. But still, it is that very thing is just gonna stay in their own head. They're not gonna talk about this thing right at that particular moment. And even if they do, let me tell you very clearly. Let me tell you one thing that is probably the most important thing for now. See, the people who have achieved something, or let me put it in some better way. The people who are genuinely good, who are genuinely grounded, who genuinely have heart and humanity in them, they never mock anybody, especially someone who is trying to get better, in his or her respective life, who is genuinely trying to get better, who is genuinely trying hard to get better, who is genuinely trying to be good, a good human being, a good professional and whatnot. They never pull their legs. The good people never pull anybody's legs, because they believe that anybody can grow in their life, right? They know that anything can happen in life. We should never pull anybody's leg. We should never make fun. We should never make fun of anybody. We should never mock anybody. We should never bully anybody. Good people know this, and whoever is not having this sort of mindset will definitely mock you, pull your leg and whatnot. So you should not focus on them, because they are not good people. They don't have the good mindset. I should not call them bad people, but they are not having the right mindset. It's not the right mindset, not constructive mindset. So you should not be bothered about them. I understand that our focus goes very quickly on the people who say negative, or who talk negatively about us. I understand that thing, because we might forget 100 appreciations of people, but we very quickly focus on some negative comment and anything. And I understand that. I get it. We are designed like this. Our biology works like this. But you just have to be very clear in your head. It's a part of your homework, that you just have to tell it to your mind that okay, I understand that no matter how good I become, or no matter how hard I practice, or no matter what my intentions are, how genuine my intentions are, still there will be people who will never like me, who will always try to mock me and make fun of me and whatnot. And these are the people. There have been a lot of people, and even God is not spared of these people. There are people who mock even God. right? There are people who talk shit about God as well, who talk bad things about God as well, you know, who don't respect even God. So where are we coming from? You know, we are nothing in front of God. If God is everything according to you, then we are nothing in front of God. So if people can talk shit about God, are they going to spare us? No. Just be absolutely clear about that thing, and then nothing can stop you. Good people are there, and good people will always appreciate you. They will always support you as much as they can. They will always talk good thing about you. They will try to motivate you and inspire you and whatnot. Just focus on them and ignore the negativity, because negativity will always be there. If you develop that thick skin in you, that okay, you know, I can ignore them, that is exactly what you want, right? So let me repeat these points one more time. 4 points. First point is, having no knowledge about the topic you're talking about, you will get stuck. Second point, translation in head. If you start to translate in your head, you will definitely get stuck. Third point, grammar rules application. If you try to say things in a very grammatically perfect way, you will definitely get stuck. And the fourth point is, what will people think if I speak wrong English? See, there are so many people who speak wrong English, who speak grammatically imperfect English, but they never stop, and they definitely get better with time. Initially everybody makes more mistakes, but with time we tend to make lesser mistakes. Keep these 4 things in your mind, because these 4 are the main reasons why we generally get stuck. It is not related to vocabulary. I was about to include this vocabulary thing as well. Having a good vocabulary always helps, there is no doubt about it, but these 4 are the major reasons why we generally get stuck while speaking English, or why we get freeze, or why we get frozen. I don't know what is grammatically perfect like. See, I also made grammatical mistakes. So ideally it should be what? Why we get frozen, right? Freeze, froze, frozen. This is how the forms of verbs work, right? So why we get frozen. See, I'm also making mistakes, but I have also developed this thing in me, and just by observing other people, that people make mistakes, but they continue to go on and on. You just have to continue to go on and on and on. That's the main thing. And this video has gone too long, 22 minutes already. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you guys want to have a one-on-one conversation with me, the link are in the description and in the pinned comment, and I will definitely welcome you guys, and I would love to have a conversation with you guys. I have a lot of things to share, because my English also used to be zero, and what all I did in order to understand, but I still share all these things. But having one-on-one conversation is something that makes us practice way more, and it is something that is more realistic and kind of practical, how we generally speak with someone in a language. So it gives us that real life touch. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.